The Lost Fortune of Adolf Hitler, a true historical mystery. Adolf Hitler, the dictator of Nazi Germany, is one of the most infamous figures in world history. His name is forever tied to war, destruction, and genocide, but there is another part of his story that still remains unsolved: his hidden fortune. Many historians believe that during his time in power, Hitler and his closest allies built a massive amount of wealth, not just through state control, but through plundered treasures, confiscated gold, stolen art, and even secret bank accounts. And when Nazi Germany collapsed in 1945, much of that wealth simply disappeared. So where did it all go? Let's go back to the beginning. How did Hitler become rich? Before World War II, Hitler was not a wealthy man. In fact, during World War I, he was a soldier living in poor conditions. But everything changed when he came to power in 1933. Once Hitler became the Führer of Germany, his personal wealth began to grow quickly. One of the main sources of his money was a book, Mein Kampf. After he became leader, every German soldier and government worker was required to buy a copy of his book. The royalties went directly to Hitler, making him a millionaire. It's estimated that by 1945, Hitler earned over $7 million in today's money just from book sales. He also received gifts from wealthy Nazi supporters, cars, artwork, and real estate. He never paid taxes. The German finance ministry simply erased his tax debts. This means Hitler lived like a king, while many Germans suffered in poverty. The Nazi looting machine. As Hitler expanded his empire during World War II, his army looted everything in its path. The Nazis stole gold, silver, and valuables from banks, museums, and private homes across Europe. Some of the most valuable treasures came from Jewish families who were forced to give up their wealth before being sent to concentration camps. Entire trainloads of gold bars, diamonds, religious artifacts, and priceless paintings were sent back to Germany. It is estimated that the Nazis looted over $550 million in gold, worth billions today, and possibly 20% of Europe's private art collections. Much of this loot was stored in secret bunkers, underground caves, salt mines, and castles in Germany and Austria. But in the final days of the war, as Allied forces closed in, something strange happened. The treasure began to vanish. Hitler's final days and the Berlin bunker. In April 1945, as Soviet forces entered Berlin, Hitler locked himself in an underground bunker. He knew the war was lost. On April 30, 1945, he died by suicide. But before his death, many believe that Hitler ordered his most trusted officers to hide or move Nazi treasures to secret locations. Some reports claim that submarines were used to transport gold to South America. Others say trains left Berlin carrying millions in stolen assets and vanished into the mountains. The most famous of these is the Nazi Gold Train, a mysterious armored train that allegedly disappeared in Poland in 1945, carrying tons of gold and precious cargo. Despite many searches, the train has never been found. The hunt for Hitler's gold. After the war, the Allies began to search for Nazi treasure. The U.S. Army even formed a special unit called the Monuments, Fine Arts, and Archives Program, also known as the Monuments Men. Their mission was to find and return looted art and treasure. They discovered hidden caches in Austrian salt mines, full of paintings, gold, and documents. One of the biggest finds was in Merker's salt mine, where they found over 100 tons of gold and huge amounts of cash. But even after these discoveries, historians believe that a large portion of Hitler's personal and Nazi wealth remains unaccounted for. Switzerland, Argentina, and secret bank accounts. There are long-standing rumors that some of Hitler's fortune was moved to Swiss bank accounts under false names. Switzerland, known for its banking secrecy, was neutral during the war and is believed to have been a safe haven for Nazi money. Some also believe that the Vatican Bank and Spanish banks helped funnel Nazi wealth out of Europe in the final days of the war. But perhaps the most famous theory involves Argentina. Many Nazis fled to South America after the war, using Ratlin's secret escape routes. Adolf Eichmann and Joseph Mengele were among those who made it to Argentina and lived there for years. Some conspiracy theories even claim that Hitler himself escaped to Argentina and lived there until the 1960s, taking much of the hidden treasure with him. While most historians agree that Hitler died in 1945, the mystery of his fortune keeps these ideas alive. Where is the treasure today? Many treasure hunters, historians, and governments have tried to find Hitler's missing wealth. Some believe it lies at the bottom of lakes in Austria and Germany. Others think it was buried deep in the Bavarian Alps. In 1983, a diver claimed to find Nazi gold in a lake called Toplitzsee in Austria. Several expeditions searched the lake, but most found only decoys or worthless debris. In 2015, two treasure hunters claimed they had located the legendary Nazi gold train in Poland using ground-penetrating radar. The story made international headlines, but again, nothing was found. The hidden art collections. Along with gold, the Nazis stole thousands of paintings and sculptures, many from Jewish collectors. While some of this art has been returned, over 100,000 works are still missing today. Some pieces have shown up at auctions or in private collections decades later. In 2010, a huge stash of stolen art was found in the apartment of Cornelius Gerlit, the son of a Nazi art dealer. These discoveries remind us that much of Hitler's plundered wealth might still be hidden, hanging on someone's wall or locked away in a basement. Modern investigations and controversies. In recent years, governments and museums have worked to trace Nazi-looted art and return it to the rightful families. But tracing stolen gold or cash is much harder. Many financial records were destroyed at the end of the war. Others remain hidden by institutions that refuse to cooperate. This includes banks, private collectors, and even governments. There are also political reasons why some countries might prefer to keep these secrets buried. Exposing them could lead to lawsuits, compensation claims, or national shame. Why does this mystery still matter? The story of Hitler's lost fortune is not just about gold or art. It's about justice, memory, and the scars of war. Millions of people were killed during the Holocaust. Their homes, families, and futures were destroyed. Much of their wealth was stolen and never returned. Finding the missing treasure is a way of honoring those victims and ensuring that history is not forgotten. It also shows how power and greed can leave a trail that echoes for generations. Conclusion. Adolf Hitler died in 1945, but the mystery of his wealth lives on. Despite countless searches, documentaries, and investigations, no one knows for sure how much money he left behind or where it went. Was it buried in a secret bunker, hidden in a lake, moved to South America, or sitting quietly in a bank under a fake name? We may never know the full truth. But one thing is certain: the mystery of Hitler's lost fortune will continue to fascinate, inspire treasure hunters, and remind us of one of the darkest chapters in human history.